I loved Arizona against Seattle off a bye week. They're playing well.
Yep.
Seattle fundamentally took them out of their offense. What did you see from Kyler Murray? I mean, off a bye with that collection of talent, what did you see from Kyler's performance?
It wasn't really Kyler. I mean, I think to me, Kyler is almost the same every week. He's kind of a maybe yes, maybe no guy. If he can make some plays outside of structure, which he can do any given week, then he can have a big week. But he's going to always be a little inconsistent as a pocket player because there's just certain things he can't see. But they got killed with their offensive line versus the Seahawks D-line. Leonard Williams had as good a game this past week as any D lineman I've seen this year. And they just physically dominated the Cards O-line up front. So that was really, to me, what the game was about. Because the Cards, in some ways, are like the Eagles. They have to be able to run the ball.
Yeah.
And they could not run the ball at all. And they gave up on it really early in a game that was really never out of hand score-wise until, the fourth quarter? They didn't have early success running the ball, and their OC just totally abandoned the run game. And they have to be able to run the ball with Connor and Benson.
Wow. That's crazy because I literally just recorded another clip talking about how sometimes you have to abandon your game plan and sometimes you have to stick with it and how it's this whole balance. I can't believe you just said that. And I think I said it with regards to the Philadelphia Eagles, actually. And now he's echoing that. Like that's exactly right. Like it's this balance between trying to figure out when is your game plan not working and you need to adjust, you truly need to make adjustments. And other times it's no, this is the game plan. This is what we need to do. We can't abandon this. We got to fight through it and we will be able to break through. And it's not the easiest thing to know, right? Like you have, there's a lot of guesswork involved and understanding where your team's at, where the other team's at. Like I'm not going to act like it's a very simple thing, but I think with the Cardinals and Kyler Murray, because of the way how Kyler Murray plays and what he looks like and how fast and quick and dynamic he can be, I think there's this idea that because he can do some extraordinary things off script, as we've seen, and can just be one of the most exciting players to watch, there's the feeling that that's kind of what will make him special and where you can kind of have that success, like the Lamar Jacksons and the Allens and the Mahomeses of the world. But I think it's less so like that. Kyler is going to be more Jalen Hurts than, say, Josh Allen, Lamar, etc., where give them this truly established run game. Give them a clean pocket and clear targets, and they will be able to surgically pick you apart. And then when you really need them to be special, they can, but it can't be the foundation. In a lot of ways, it should never be the foundation, right? Making these players be their superhero selves. You know, again, whether it is Lamar, Josh, or Patrick Mahomes, I talk about that a lot. But I think you can put more on the plate of those quarterbacks than, say, a Kyler Murray or a Jalen Hurts. And it's not a knock on Kyler by any stretch of the imagination. It's just if you can give him some talent, if you can give him some gifts, so to speak, he then has the ability to attack and become an even, play like a truly top elite player and really be next level special. As we saw, again, the perfect example of this really will be Jalen Hurts, because you saw what Jalen Hurts was able to do in the Super Bowl. Give him some gifts, establish, a physical, tough O-line, and then Jalen Hurts will be able to be that special. Will be able to outplay a Josh Allen, a Lamar, Patrick Mahomes. But that's not their default. That's their ability to overcome is not what makes them special. Give them a great situation, and what makes them special is for them to now elevate to the next level. To be able to not only surgically pick you apart, but then when you need them to be a superhero, they can get after it. At the end of the day, what will make Josh Allen, Patrick Mahomes, Lamar Jackson truly special is their ability to overcome. They will always be better when you also give them an O-line, run game, and some weapons to throw to. And when they can be surgical, because they can do that, better than anyone I've ever seen. But the truth is when when there is a fire going on, you can expect them to kind of make some moves that I don't think you can rely on Kyler or like a Jalen Hurts to do. And I think that's what history has shown us for both those quarterbacks. But and that's with Kyler, and that's in a way what Greg Cosell is kind of talking about, where it's like if you're really going to disrupt this team and expect Kyler to be able to overcome it, it's unfair. Just like you wouldn't expect Tom Brady to be able to overcome it, or Peyton Manning, or again, any of these more traditional pocket passers. But when you have the mobility and the dynamic excitement of a Kyler Murray, you're like, well, hey, isn't that what makes him special? His ability to manage that. And it's like, he can when need be, but it can't be a foundational component, and you can't rely on it regularly. And again, the Eagles tried to do that with Jalen Hurts, and it didn't work. It just fundamentally did not work. And it could be because they can't see as well, because they both are technically a little bit smaller quarterbacks. That seems to be like the common criticism on them, which I know a lot of fans take to heart, because a lot of people, if you say that about like a Kyler or a Jalen, they get very angry. It doesn't matter as much to me in order to like find the root of said issue. It's just more important to me is just like, what does this look like in practice more than anything? And what this looks like in practice is, do not abandon your game plan. Do not abandon your run game. Do not abandon your identity, what makes you special. Because quite frankly, even the Lamar Jacksons of the world, when they abandon their identity, what makes that team special, you'll leave Lamar Jackson on an island, and you get the AFC Championship game where he did not look good and the team did not look good and they lost. So it's, again, like I keep saying, it's hard for any quarterback, but it's always going to be a spectrum, so to speak. And hopefully the Cardinals kind of understand that, take that lesson that they learned from playing, last week, and having that taken away from them against the Seahawks, and understanding kind of like what they need to do. Not be so quick to abandon kind of the identity of this team and what they'll be able to do and how they'll be able to win, because the division is still clearly up for grabs. I mean, it is. It's still up for grabs. The Cardinals should still be in the driver's seat of it, or at least seemingly. But it was definitely obviously a tough loss against the Seahawks, and one that caught me by surprise. I had the Cardinals winning that game. I thought the Cardinals should have been able to win that game even more convincingly than they would have even had if they ended up winning that game. So. And now going up against the Vikings is going to be a tough game. The Vikings are for real. The defense is for real. That offense is for real. Like, the Vikings are a legitimate top team in the NFL. So this is going to be a hard matchup for the Cardinals. So it's going to be interesting to see how it unfolds. But those are just my thoughts. I'd absolutely love to hear yours. What do you guys all think about the Cardinals and kind of the struggles of them and kind of what they need to do in order to continue to be a legitimate contender in the NFC? Let me know in the comments below. I read every single comment, so whether you agree with me or disagree with me, either way, let's get in some discussions. Let's get in some fights, but ultimately, let's just have some fun. And please do consider subscribing. We are building an amazing community here, and I absolutely love to see you part of it. I want to build something that we all genuinely feel connected to, something that we're really excited to be part of. I think we're well on our way to doing it. And please don't forget to give this video a thumbs up, as it really does help the visibility and the algorithm. Thank you so much. See you next time.